Hi, I'm Ian Ladbroke, and I'm going to be your running coach and mentor for the 100 Days of Running Challenge. Now, the reason for chatting to you today is to try and put your minds at rest a little bit, because I'm sure that many of you have never tried anything like this before, and you're probably feeling a little bit wary and a little bit anxious about what you're taking on. Well, let's try and put your mind at rest to begin with by telling you that the minimum you need to do per day is only 2 kilometers, which isn't very far at all. And for those of you who are really beginners, it's quite acceptable for that 2 kilometer to be a mixture of jogging and walking. And the importance is that you actually enjoy this and you don't see it as a chore. Some of you will be experienced runners, and I'll be trying to also help you and guide you to make sure that you don't overdo it and try and do too much on a daily basis. The 100-day challenge is something that Tanvir started several years ago, and it's growing in strength. And I actually applaud it and think it's a great way of keeping people interested in running during the very hot weather that is in most of India throughout the summer. With this in mind, we need to be a little bit cautious in some areas, and hydration is one thing that you must be very, very careful to adhere to. I would recommend that you drink 3 to 5 liters of water every day. Don't gulp this down in sort of big lumps. Try to take a glass on a regular basis during the day. But the most important thing is to make sure that you drink water before you sleep and again in the morning before you go for your run. During the next 6 to 7 weeks before the challenge starts, and in fact during the challenge itself, we'll be giving you some guidance on the rights and wrongs on diet and nutrition. But really, the simple things are the things that work best. You should try and take your dinner in the evening reasonably early. Make sure that you're well hydrated before you sleep. And then in the morning, take a very light snack before you go for your run. I always find that a banana, a couple of glasses of water, and maybe a tea or a coffee if you like it, goes down well, and it gives you the feeling that when you're running, that you're not running on empty. If you find that you're getting sore muscles and aches and pains, then there's some very simple remedies that you can use to try and ease those problems. One is to use an ice pack on the area that's giving you discomfort. Another is to get some light massage. This brings us to another point that I'm very, very keen on. You know, if you're going to put your body under quite a lot of stress for that period of time, it's important that you're very careful in terms of the surface that you do your running on. I coach a lot of the world's top Kenyan athletes and top British athletes as well. And you'll be surprised to know that most of them only do about 10 to 20% of their training on tarmac road. Most of the time you'll find them on muddy tracks, on grass, and on soft running tracks. This is very kind to the legs. It actually is slightly harder to run on those surfaces, but in the long run, it'll make you stronger, and it's also guaranteed to reduce the amount of injuries that you may get. So my recommendation in this respect would be that you try to at least make sure 5 days a week, if possible, you're not running on a very hard tarmac surface. Getting into a routine is a very important thing. You're taking on a lot more physical activity than your body will be used to. So in that respect, you need to make sure that you try and get a little bit of extra sleep. You know, if you're getting up at 4:30 in the morning to go for a run, then you should be trying to make sure that by 9 or 9:30 in the evening, you're already asleep. Eating good food on a regular basis during the day will also help the process. Try to avoid too much in the way of fatty foods. Carbohydrates are king, and when you're training on a regular basis, you need to make sure that you get plenty of carbohydrates into your system. Rice, potatoes, rotis are a very good source of carbohydrates, as are fresh fruits, and I would also suggest that you make sure that you try to eat fresh vegetables on a daily basis. That's all for me for now. See you tomorrow for the Q&A online on Facebook. Good luck.